In this video, I will be going over the best dribble pull-up for every single height in NBA 2K25. No matter what height, 5'9" through 7'3", there will be a dribble pull-up that will work the best for you in this video. And I will not just be going over the best dribble pull-up animations, I will also be going over the cue that you want to look for in each dribble pull-up. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So getting into the best dribble pull-up for 5'9" through 6'4" builds. Without a doubt, the best dribble pull-up for 5'9" through 6'4" builds is Cameron Thomas. Cameron Thomas's animations are so good this year. I also use his jump shot base. It is so smooth and easy to time. His fade is the same story. The fade to the off ball hand, super quick and smooth. The fade to the same ball hand, very easy to time. And the fade to the front and the back fade are also really easy to time. Now, if you are not a fan of Cameron Thomas, I recommend trying out Tyler Hero. I also really like Pro 2. Pro 2 is another really good dribble pull-up. Yeah, for me, I'm without a doubt going with Cameron Thomas. This is the best dribble pull-up in the game in my opinion. Now, what I look for in the Cameron Thomas fade while fading to the off-ball hand, so my player is right-handed and I'm fading to the left, I look for the ball to reach its peak at the top of my head. Okay, I missed that one right there, but what you want to do, look for the ball to reach its peak at the top of your head, and it should be green every single time. Same story with fading to the right side. You want to look for the ball to reach its peak at the top of your head, green every single time. Obviously, this does depend on your shot timing visual cue. For me, I'm using push. Now, getting into the best dribble pull-up for tall builds, I highly recommend using KCP dribble pull-up. You do need an 85 plus 3-ball or midi to get this fade, so I will be going over another one that you can use if you can't get it. But if you can get KCP fade, it is so good. I mean, this fade for me is automatic. Even when I don't mean to fade, I still somehow hit it. Only thing that I dislike about this fade is the front fade is a little bit awkward at times. Fading to the same ball hand, fading to the off ball hand, I mean, everything but the front fade about this fade is perfect. Much like the Cameron Thomas fade, I look for in KCP ball to reach its peak at the top of my player's head. Every single type of fade, front fade, back fade, fade to the non-dominant ball hand, fade to the right, is of course as long as you're using push, which I recommend that you use. Now, if you cannot get KCP dribble pull-up, I highly recommend trying out Tyler Hero. Some people don't like Tyler Hero because the fade to the off ball hand can get contested very easily. But even though fading to the off ball hand is very easy to contest, it is still super easy to hit with. But risking getting contested is, a pretty big deal. So if you don't like that, I recommend going Pro 2, just like these small guard builds. Pro 2 fade is very good. And finally, the best dribble pull up for 6'10" through 7'3" builds. Now, if you are a 6'10" through 7'3" build, I recommend using normal 2 dribble pull up. This dribble pull up is very easy to time. The only downside about this dribble pull-up is the fact that when you go to the left, there is a hitch in your fade sometimes, and it does make it a little weird to time. But everything else about this fade is very good. The fade to the right, or not the fade to the right, the fade to the same ball hand is very smooth and easy to time. The front fade isn't anything crazy, it's okay, and the back fade is smooth as well. But everything else about this fade is really good. It creates a good amount of space, it's easy to time, it's quick overall. The only real issue I have with the fade is the hitch in the fade shooting to the non-dominant ball hand. Now, if you are not a fan of the normal 2 dribble pull-up, another fade you can try is Kevin Durant dribble pull-up. Now, you do need an 87 plus midi or 3-ball to get this, and for a 6'10" through 7'3" build, that probably won't be too common. But if you do have that, Kevin Durant is another really good option. It is so smooth. I mean, very easy to time. No complaints with this fade at all. But every other fade to me isn't really that good. I'm not even gonna lie. Dirk Nowitzki isn't terrible, but you need an 86 plus midi or 3-ball to use it. And if you have that high of a midi or 3-ball, then you might as well go Kevin Durant. So I'm not gonna lie, for me, the consensus best dribble pull-up for 6'10" through 7'3" builds is gonna be normal 2. Now, what I look for in the normal 2 dribble pull-up, again, like the other 2, I look for the ball to be at its peak at the top of my head. That is because I use the push cue, and that is what I recommend y'all use as well. Now, that pretty much wraps it up for the best dribble pull-ups in NBA 2K25. If y'all have any questions, or y'all have another fade that you think is really good that I didn't mention, make sure to let me know in the comments. But that's pretty much it, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.